Hello guys, I am B with lalalandcrafts, and today we're going to be making a fun little project together. We're going to be making a car with the new release. For my car, we're going to be using Aviator Marcy, and one of the sentiments that comes with her, it says "You're plain awesome." We're also going to be using the small hot air balloon that you can find at the shop, and don't worry about it, I will leave everything in the description box below for you to go get them. We're also going to be using the scallop rectangles die. These dies are in the shop as well. This die is the plain banners die set, and this is the vintage plain die, and this is perfect if you want to do like a smoke behind your airplane. We're going to be using those. We're going to be using as well this paper pack. It's the Candyland 6x6 paper pack, and this one is the one that I have chosen. There are so many options in this paper pack, you guys. This paper pack is insane. It's amazing, and I know I say that about all the paper packs from lalalandcrafts, but it's the truth, believe me. So we're gonna make a little scene with this. I thought it was perfect for her to visit Candyland and with her airplane. We're also gonna be using I chose this pink cardstock. I thought it goes so well with those pink the pink sky back there. I thought it looks amazing. And then I usually go for black or white with my car bases, but not this time. So this time I have chosen to go with this bright green paper. This is a 12 by 12, and we're gonna cut it down, and I will give you the measures in a minute. But look how amazing this looks. I love it. I love this combination. So the first thing we're gonna do is color our beautiful Marcy to match our background. Let's go ahead and do that. So for my coloring, I always start with the darkest color and go to my lightest. Make sure that you check the top left corner of my video, because I will leave you there each color that I'm using as I'm using it, so you don't get confused and you can know exactly which marker I am using. I'm gonna go ahead now and speed this coloring up, and I'll see you at the end. Now we're gonna add some detail to her eyes with a black micron pen, and all I'm doing here is adding some eyelashes to her. I think she looks so cute and so pretty with her eyelashes that I have to add them every single time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and we're gonna continue coloring. Here's a little close-up how she looks with her eyelashes. And this is how Marcy looks. I love her. Now we're gonna fussy cut around with our scissors and put her aside. Now it's time to put our card together. My top paper measures 5 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Then my pink paper measures 5 7/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches, and my card base is 12 by 6 inches, and you're gonna score at the 6-inch mark on the 12-inch side. And this is gonna make your card where you're gonna write a message inside and give it to somebody. Now for this part, we're gonna use the second to the biggest scallop rectangles die. This one is the second biggest rectangle. We're gonna put it in the middle, and we're gonna go ahead and cut this with my die cutting machine, and I'll be right back. After you cut it, this is how it's gonna look like, and you're gonna set this aside because we are going to put our airplane together. What I did with these die cut pieces is that I use distress oxide to color them. So for my airplane, I use the green Mowed Lawn for the shadow part and the twisted citron for the bright part. I use also for the smoke, I use the Weather Woods distress ink, and look at my balloon, my hot air balloon is so cute. For the basket, I use gathered twigs, and I did like an ombre effect with the spun sugar and picked raspberry, and this is my sentiment. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our airplane together, and for this part I'm gonna be using wet glue. I think it's the best adhesive you can use for die cut pieces. So I'm gonna speed through this part a little bit, not so fast, so you can kind of see what I am doing, and then I see you at the end. Okay, so now it's time to put our whole card together. And for this part, I am going to use my wet glue, and I am going to glue down this pink cardstock on top of my card base, which is the green cardstock. Now for my pattern paper, I want to add dimensionals to the outside part so it's raised, and then my middle part I want to put sinking a little. But for that, and to make sure that I actually do it right, I am gonna put my outer part first, and then I'm gonna add my inside part and add some glue to the inside panel and just glue it down in between the outside paper and where the centerpiece goes. And I'm hoping I am explaining this right for you. Then all we're gonna do is remove that outer part, and now we have our middle center in perfect. And for this part I am going to be adding dimensional tape. Now for this part, I'm just gonna add my die cuts, and Marcy, I'm gonna add her with dimensionals as well, as I'm gonna add a little pieces of dimensionals to the hot air balloon and to the airplane, and you'll see why in a moment. So as I add my hot air balloon, I don't know if you remember that I previously told you that the middle part is sunk in the card and the border is raised. So if we put our hot air balloon here and we do not put a little bit of dimensional underneath that basket, which is in the sunk part of my card, once we mail that card, that's just gonna sink in. It's gonna sink into that middle, and it's not gonna look pretty. So we're gonna add a tiny little piece of dimensional underneath the basket for support. And make sure you don't make the same mistake I did. I was supposed to remove the backing paper before putting my dimensional down. I didn't do that, so now here you'll see me struggle a little to remove that little backing piece, but nothing we cannot fix. So here I'm just adding wet glue to my airplane to glue it down, and then you'll see that the smoke part, that it's like in a heart shape, I'm not gonna put it directly behind the airplane because I want Marcy to go in the middle, and if we put it right after, like right behind the airplane, Marcy's gonna cover that part, and I want it to be shown in my car. And again, for this part, I had to cut a little piece of dimensional. This time though, I did remove the backing as you see me here. And then just add it to the tail of the airplane to support in the sunken part of the middle of the car. For Marcy, I'm gonna add a lot of dimensionals and add her to the middle of the card. To the sentiment, I'm adding a couple of gems. One is bigger than the other, and they're green and pink to match my card. And here's how my card turned out. I absolutely adore it. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you own these stamp, these papers, and these die sets. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.